I totally just went live on the old wrong channel. Oopsies. I don't know how I did that. Ooh. Oopsies. There we go. We are live. Yes. My wife just screamed. Don't know what that was. Here we go. We're going to double check again. We're going to go to the old kick. Haha. Live on Kick, baby. There we go. First time being live. And we're going to go YouTube as well. And I need you. Do. And I miss you. All right, I don't know how to show you all that, but live, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. All right, let's get into this. Today's topic, streaming was a mistake. I don't know if any of y'all keep up with any of the streaming drama that's out there. And by streaming, he means Hulu, HBO Max, Netflix, all of those things. That's what's being talked about here. So, we shall get started.
Are y'all ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Piracy is so back.
So now instead of paying $15.99 a month for 4K UHD, whatever downloads, 4 concurrent streams with HBO Max, you now have to pay $20 a month.
I hate Netflix. I hate them really bad.
Paramount Plus, Peacock, and Prime Video are $12. Disney Plus is $14, Netflix is $15.50, and Hulu is $18 every month.
Yeah, let's go back and look at that. This is getting out of hand, boys. Come back. This right here, the old 12, 14, 15, 18. This is getting ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that my wife's Netflix is $20, not $15.50. So this is quite literally 50, 60, 70, 80 something dollars a month right here. This is $1,000 a year just to stream shit. This is getting out of hand. It is most definitely getting out of hand.
Every
They
month.
will keep raising it until they find the ceiling.
We are paying now more for your television entertainment than we ever were before.
These companies are going to do whatever they want to do at the end of the day. Bringing you actual value is not the main focus. It's all
Hey, it's all about shareholder
I'm not
value.
saying we should do crime. What I'm saying is,
People are starting to realize that it's easier and far cheaper to pirate their favorite TV shows and movies than to buy them. And you honestly can't blame them.
Easier
Streaming is
and cheaper.
horrible now.
Yes, it
when
is.
Netflix first came out,
I'm not
the
condoning
idea
it,
was revolutionary, and you could see why everybody loved it. Netflix made it easier to watch all your favorite movies and TV shows on one disc, conveniently from anywhere in the world. And for a brief moment, it was great. Piracy fell to an all-time low, as nobody saw the need for it anymore. But as the saying goes, nothing good lasts forever, especially since other platforms realized that instead of licensing their shows to Netflix, they could just create their own
I love that
streaming
scene when he
service
licks the
and
rock.
keep all the profit for themselves. Want to watch The Last of Us? It's not on Netflix. You'll have to pay $10 for HBO Max. Want to watch Family Guy? Another $10 for Hulu.
He said it! He said it!
Want to catch up on Rick and Morty? It's not on Hulu.
Jeez, I don't know.
You'll have to go back to HBO Max, despite the show being owned by the same network, Fox. When The Office, the comedic show that won 5 Emmys, came out on Netflix,
That looks like Pyramid to me, buddy.
I have to go make a call.
Fans
Sorry, Scott.
adored the idea that their favorite show was conveniently on the most popular streaming platform on the planet. That was until 2021, when everything changed. Netflix's license to continue streaming expired, and other streaming platforms saw an opportunity to steal Netflix's golden show for themselves. The directors of the show called the representatives of Netflix, Hulu, Apple, and Peacock to a room and asked them to bid for the show, and the highest bidder would walk away with the rights. Of course, Netflix didn't stand a chance in a room full of billion, even trillion-dollar companies like Apple. At the end of the day, Peacock won the auction by offering $500 million in a 5-year...
Honestly, it should have been a... How do I say this? It should have been a silent auction. I don't know if that's how they did it or not, but everybody should have wrote their bid down, how much they are willing to pay, put it into the bucket. Whoever had the highest took it. I don't know if that's how it actually worked. I don't know. But, yeah, none of this actual bidding war bullshit.
Year deal for the show. 5 times more than what Netflix could offer. To continue watching this show, you're forced to either subscribe to a new service, which would only eat into your pocket, or pirate it. This is a big ethical problem that's leading so many people to justify piracy.
Piracy is a victimless crime. No, seriously.
Especially when you consider the painful fact that most streaming services do not have a strong library of good shows beyond the ones they plaster on billboards or the ones you see trending on TikTok. Eventually, you're left with a library of what some might call dog shit.
What the fuck is going on? This is so gross.
That's it. I'm never smelling a dog's rear end again.
Me too, bro.
According to a study by Vindicia, the average American pays
I love a
for
good
3
dog
to 4
rear end
streaming
whiff.
video services per month, and that's just for video. There's Apple Music, Spotify, video games, even
Oh,
software
God.
now are more expensive than ever. And if you're outside the
Dude,
US,
don't
things
get me
get much
started
worse.
about
In
Adobe
Noragrat's
and
video about
Suites.
piracy, he talked about a man who got a VPN, paid a random
in
dude
India to get him a local phone number, then made an Indian Disney Plus account.
just so he could watch his favorite movie legitimately.
He's more dedicated to this than I was to my ex-wife.
If you have to put that much effort to
Damn.
watch a single movie, you may as well just pirate it.
When you pirate them, it's much easier, it's much quicker, it's a lot less expensive, obviously.
When I was researching
Higher
for this
quality
video,
sometimes,
I saw this
too.
post comparing the basic plan for a Netflix subscription versus the pirated plan. If you're one for quality movies, you'll notice that the pirated version is actually much better than what Netflix offers you for $12, which should not be. There's a new term going
Nope.
around for what streaming companies are doing. It's called enshittification. It's the theory
I
that
love
product and
this word.
services offered by
I
once great
love
companies get
enshittification.
worse and worse over time as their need for growth and profit outweighs their desire to satisfy customers. Eventually, customers are going to be forced to pay higher and higher rates for increasingly deteriorating services. To
Yes.
the point where piracy is going to become an increasingly alluring value proposition. When that happens, you can be absolutely, indisputably
Drink
assured
up, me
the
hearty,
executives
yo-ho.
will blame absolutely everything but themselves. For now, the new approach people prefer is subscribe to 1 or 2 streaming services and pirate the rest.
Back it up, back it up. 2, 2, 3 gon' make a nigga back it up. 21.
The shifted
Doesn't sound like a
priority
bad
of streaming
idea.
companies from consumer satisfaction
Which two?
to
All right.
maximizing
I got a question. Do you, one, what streaming services are you currently subscribed to, specifically video stuff, right? Television, TV shows, not Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that. Which ones are you currently subscribed to? And which ones are you willing to admit that you pirate down in the comment section below? Yeah. Which ones? You don't have to say the exact name. You can use code language.
shareholder value, revive the quote,
Shareholder
"If buying isn't owning,
value.
then piracy isn't stealing." You may have seen it in the comment section of videos. It's a reflection of people's growing anger towards the media we consume. It became even more popular when headlines like these started floating around.
The Gen Zers own nothing. They don't want to own anything. Everything is a service.
I miss the days where when you actually purchased something, it was yours.
I just lost every single book on my Kindle. Over 300 books.
Then I tried to print at my leisure and it was like, no, you literally can't use the printer unless you have a subscription.
Automakers want to turn this thing you drive every day into a moving subscription.
A new study shows that Gen Zers have some finance problems, starting out with more credit card debt than...
Do you want to know why everything has moved to a subscription model? Do you want to know why? I'll give it to you. It is reoccurring revenue every month, every year, that type of situation. It is much cheaper to get one person to buy something at $20 a month, and then it be a subscription for month over month over month over month over month, than it is to spend the money to get one person to buy one widget for $20, and then somebody else buy another widget for $20, and then you're marketing and you're churning through customers until kind of eventually you might run out of customers unless you innovate and have new products. So also the whole shareholder value thing, if you sold 20,000 $20 widgets a month, or you had 20,000 $20 subscribers a month, the subscriber business is probably going to be valuated easy 10, if not 15x more than what a standard business with that amount of revenue would bring in. So it's all about profits, increasing shareholder value. It always circles back. It always finds a way back.
In previous generations.
But let this be your reminder, you guys. We don't own anything on social media. This is their app. They can at any time.
This is their app.
TikTok,
You are
Instagram,
correct.
YouTube, your email. We don't own anything.
Oh my God.
To nothing more than a month.
We got some people over
the good old
on
days when you could
YouTube
buy
right
a
now.
DVD
What's going
and
on?
Own a movie for life. The best part, it was
What's up?
physical. You could feel it. You could keep it. You could play it. It could even become a collection.
Can I have the wrench? The wrench? I ain't got no wrenches back there, my boy.
Offering an even better way to watch movies.
Cheddar cheese,
One
what's up?
filled with
Dead boy, what's
unlimited
going on?
potential and a vast library of shows.
You set
could
sail
never
for
get
all
tired.
things?
This was the
Hey,
dream
drink up,
solved.
me hearties.
Just
Yo
one
ho,
small
man.
problem. You couldn't
Pirates
own any
life
of
for
it.
me too,
Think
my
about it.
man.
If you buy
Pirates
a
life for
Netflix
me.
subscription today, you're not buying movies. You're renting access for as long as you continue paying. The day you stop for
Mhm.
whatever reason, that may
Ding.
be, whether it's because you got laid off from your job, got
Yep.
scammed, or maybe suffered a fatal accident that ate up your finances, as long as it causes your card to decline, your entire library disappears. Years of carefully building the perfect library for eating, dates, family, gone in an instant. That emotional connection you built. those
Yo, people in the
memories
stream
tied to
over
certain
on
shows,
YouTube,
they don't
how's the
belong to
stream
you.
look?
They were always on loan, and the same goes for music as well. It's pretty crazy to think that to keep your playlist, you must pay for it till you essentially die. And even then, it's not
Yeah.
over. If you shared your password before passing, the bill could get passed to the next user.
In the United States alone, your password was shared over 1.3 million times.
1.3 million people. That doesn't even make any fucking
For
sense.
these reasons,
1.3 million.
Piracy. Illegal
That's
sites
a
that let
lot.
you download
That's
movies for
a
free
lot.
and watch them as many times as you want without fear of losing access in the nearest future. I am not supporting piracy. I am just stating the facts. And the fact
I
is,
am not
Gen Z
supporting
loves
piracy.
even though most of them lack the technical know-how.
Oh my God. What does he have going on here? This dude's got 10 terabytes worth of space on his computer. Minecraft education, Miniland adventure, whatever that is. Fancy Pants, Ghost Recon, Epic Games Launcher. Oh my God. I know somebody with OCD is out here tripping right now at this.
To do it. That's why videos like how to watch Netflix for free in 2025 100% legal get thousands of views, even though free and legal should never be in the same sentence.
Imagine this,
Yeah,
without paying even
I agree.
a single dollar. You get to enjoy all your favorite shows and movies on Netflix for an entire year.
This is the best working method, and it's going to allow you to get free money as well, because you're going to not only will you be able to get free Netflix, but you'll also be able to get free money with this method here.
I don't know, man. Seeming sus lately.
Luckily for the streaming companies, many Gen Zs are not computer literate, as you'd expect a generation born to technology to be. Futurism called us the generation baffled by simple technology. It may come as a surprise, but because everything is so automated, 44% of Gen Z now have just the basic knowledge of how technology works. That's why we prefer Canva to Photoshop and CapCut
Yep.
to Premiere Pro, because it's easier to understand.
quite an
also why Gen Z
interesting
finds it hard
debacle.
to pirate softwares and movies, because they
The enterprise softwares definitely cost a lot more, are more cumbersome, and are more powerful. But sometimes I just want to throw something into CapCut and just let it rip. I don't want to have to pull out my laptop. Sometimes I'm on my desktop here and I want to edit something, and I don't want to pay another couple $100 for a Final Cut Pro subscription, dude, or whatever it is. Final Cut Pro, I don't want to buy it again. I don't want to pay for Adobe Suite, you know, off of Apple products. Like, I don't know. I would rather just use a free software, and man, fuck me though, right?
Don't just know how, but they're willing to learn, and that is dangerous to streaming companies who have millions at stake. Subreddits, Telegram, and YouTube tutorials have been created to help the generation catch up on the vast revival of piracy. But you can argue that these are billion-dollar companies who can afford to waste $300 million on boring sci-fi movies with cool visuals. So technically, piracy from a relatively small group of teens should
That guy's
not
a
be
good
problem,
actor.
right?
Wrong.
The truth is, every media company is terrified of piracy. Netflix even admitted it in a report to investors. And it's no surprise why. The streaming business is brutally competitive. Platforms are burning millions just to stay alive, and investors are losing faith in the business model fast. Just look at the numbers. Apple TV lost $1 billion in 2024. Peacock lost $372 million within the same year. Roku is down almost 20% this year, and Paramount stock has not recovered since they did the Thunderman's return. But that does not mean streaming is dead. In fact, what these companies suffer in stock value, they almost always make up for in streaming subscriptions.
Bank of America's internal data show that consumers are spending way more on streaming than they were even a couple years ago. The percentage of households spending over $100
but
a
also,
month is growing.
why does Bank of America have this information, and why do they create statistics off of it that they then can sell to these corporations?
But what happens
again? Why does Bank of America look into its customers' bank accounts to figure out that people are spending more money on streaming services now than a few years ago? They're going to take that information. They might publish something, a blog or something like that, a new hit piece, but they have so much data and information behind the scenes that they probably package that data up and sell it. And we're not getting a fucking dime out of it. They're using our subscription data and selling it off to these companies to make us pay more in subscriptions. It's an infinite money glitch. It really is.
When they run out of new subscribers.
Do you remember the "you wouldn't steal a car" anti-piracy videos that played in front of movies and on DVDs a whole bunch back
in 2004? The
I
British
remember
Federation
this.
Against copyright theft launched this anti-piracy ad, only to get caught in the ultimate hypocrisy. Turns out they stole both the fonts and the music when making the ad campaign. Some reports even suggest this carelessness accidentally encouraged more piracy instead of stopping it. Now, obviously, this ad alone was not responsible for the level of piracy carried out across different industries, but it definitely played a role in spreading awareness, not just in the way they expected.
The problem with the ad was it was released right at the birth of Web 2, just as people were really starting to figure out how the internet and computers worked. So rather than discourage people from downloading movies illegally, it just told them it was possible, and made them curious to explore the world of pirated content. And these were the glory days for pirated content. The Pirate Bay opened in 2003, and by 2005, there were over 1.7 million users
rip the Pirate Bay for real.
Software online.
Rip, man.
According to Znet, US households
very sad.
pay as much as $1,000 for streaming subscriptions. With these kind of numbers, you'd think streaming services would focus on making subscriptions more affordable, but instead, they're pushing for a new bill that could change the game forever. If passed, this law would force internet providers to block access to piracy websites, targeting anime, movies, TV shows, and other content that cost Hollywood billions yearly. They're especially fighting now, more than ever, as some reporters suggest that some piracy websites are receiving more traffic than Disney Plus and Crunchyroll. If this keeps up, it could ruin their entire business model. We're entering a new era where streaming services are running out of new subscribers. So the only way to keep the money flowing is by providing truly innovative, high-value experiences that customers actively want to support financially. For Netflix,
Not
it's
happening.
their original shows, and Cough Cough, their pricing structure that allows users to watch movies in 4K with Netflix spatial audio.
Don't ask me how I did it, I just did it.
For Disney Plus, it's Star Wars and their OG shows
Don't
that
ask me
never
how I
get
did it.
elsewhere.
I just did it. It was
For
hard.
HBO Max, it's Game of Thrones. That's it. The truth is, streaming companies
Yeah.
depend on
God,
users
Game of Thrones
getting
was a
all their
banger, though, wasn't
entertainment
it?
from them, and only them. Piracy doesn't just slow their growth, it threatens their entire existence. And since streaming is dependent on users coming back, it is only logical they take the necessary steps to protect the future of their business. But I can't help but wonder if this
Yeah.
is really the solution, because people seem to think
Gotta
otherwise.
protect it somehow.
Won't respond to medication. Internet piracy is one of those things that will never go away completely.
If you narrow it down, why do people really pirate? Is it just because it's free? Because for a while, streaming did reduce that problem. Or is it the convenience? If a pirate website makes it easy for you to access movies from all over the world in high quality with the extra bonus of no ad, the value of a streaming service like Disney Plus, who you cannot
Yo, who's
legally
viewing
sue,
over on
drops
YouTube? Drop
dramatically.
some
The
in the
only
chat.
real way to win users and retain loyalty involves two words that is not very profitable in this day and age. It's called customer satisfaction.
I hate Disney.
Streaming services used to look like this. Now they look like this. The longer streaming services have been around, the more complicated and confusing it has gotten. It used to be you just had Netflix, but now we got 15 services and half of them are ad-free, half of them have ads. I don't even remember which ones I paid for. I don't even
Or
know
you
if some
pay
of them
for
are
it and they still have ads.
At this point, I can only hope that the day comes that streaming fatigue becomes a thing of the past, and streaming platforms see its users as real people who crave to be entertained, who want to build unforgettable moments through shows, who rely on TV to escape reality when life is getting difficult, and not just numbers meant to increase stock price.
That's all they care about. Back to it. Shareholder value. Let's look up some piracy fun here. Let's go. Piracy comeback. What do we have over here on? What do we have? The obvious reasons why piracy is back.
Piracy is making a
136,000
huge comeback, and the streamers have no one to blame but themselves. Be honest, have you illegally downloaded or streamed something recently? We don't hear too much about entertainment piracy in the news these days, but these numbers should serve as a huge warning to Hollywood. You see, piracy was a major issue back in the 2000s and 2010s, and the media companies were scared shitless. But then, in the late 2010s, legit streaming started to take hold, and it seemed like maybe Hollywood and the music industry had saved themselves. Spotify evaporated music theft, and Netflix offered a good deal for film and TV fans. And so by 2020, piracy had fallen to an all-time low. That year, piracy sites saw 130 billion visits. But last year, 2024, that number was up, hitting 216 billion. And it's easy to see why. The streaming services are nickel and diming consumers with worse and worse experiences. For starters, all of them have been steadily increasing prices and charging more for features that used to be included. Just yesterday, Apple announced it would be increasing its prices by 30%. And don't get me started on how Amazon suddenly added ads for all users. Then there's the issue of content libraries and availability. If you want to keep up with what's new and good, you need to subscribe to several services. And as a reminder, you don't own any of the shows or movies. What's there today could be gone tomorrow. But maybe the biggest factor in 2025 is the password sharing crackdown. Disney, Netflix, and soon HBO Max are forcing consumers to open more accounts, meaning each individual consumer has to pay more for.
Yep. Let's look at some comments real quick. Let's see what the interwebs are saying here over here in the comments. Wait, you guys stopped pirating? You stopped? When did you ever stop? What the hell, man? Never felt bad from stealing. I mean, I hate when people bring this stuff up right here. Like, never felt bad for stealing from a large company. They have so much money. I get it, but I also hate it at the same time. Yeah, already went over that. It's a pirate's life for me. Yes, sir. Just like the dead boy said over here. Piracy comeback. Piracy never left. Hey, some people, I'm not going to say who, have been pirating things for a long time. You know, LimeWire, all the above, man. It's making me feel good. You wouldn't download this car? Brother, can I fit that car in a 1 terabyte hard drive? If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. I mean, I agree. The first rule of piracy is don't admit you're a pirate on social media. Dun, dun, dun. You son of a bitch. We got him. Dead boy, you're going down. You're going down. Not sure what they expect. No. I pay for a game. Yeah. So like this right here. If I pay for something like a game and the game gets removed, I should expect a refund. So should y'all. Y'all should expect a refund too. That's just how it is. Especially with all the bullshit going around with these like white knight moms from like Australia or something like that going after payment providers. Don't even get me started on payment providers. That's its own live stream. Having a subscription and still paying for shows and movies is wild. Yeah. Pay $20 a month, but if you want this movie, it's $2.99 to rent it for 3 days or $5.99 to buy it, but you can only keep it bought if you keep your subscription. So the $20 plus the $5, yeah, we firing up crack streams quick, baby, for everything. The new
Raise your
age.
hand if you've ever illegally downloaded something online. Look,
Don't admit that. Don't admit that in public.
Digital piracy led to the internet we know of today. Let's start with Napster. Around 2000, Napster was huge. But with so many people accessing music for free, the record labels and artists saw their bottom lines get destroyed. Eventually, after a bunch of different lawsuits, Napster shut down in 2001. But there were other services just like it. LimeWire, Morpheus, Kazaa, FrostWire, all took its place, and album sales never went back to what they used to be. But there was opportunity. While the music industry was busy trying to sue the shit out of people, enter one of the few men to ever pull off a black turtleneck, Steve Jobs and Apple. They released the iPod in 2001, and in 2003 they launched the iTunes Store. Then came Daniel Ek, a Swedish dude who created Spotify,
buddy.
And it's like the glorious baby that Napster and iTunes birthed. Then there's BitTorrent, the other big mechanism.
Get 'em
for
outta
pirating
here.
Content. In the mid-2000s, peer-to-peer use was at its peak, and companies and entrepreneurs definitely noticed that we wanted content in a different way. Soon after, YouTube entered the scene and gained massive popularity as a way to easily watch and share videos.
Hello.
In 2007, Netflix pivots away from shipping DVDs directly to people and launched their streaming service. Also in 2007, Hulu launched. In a lot of ways, high-quality streaming severely cut down on
beat in the
piracy.
back is
But
kind of a
now,
jam.
with so many streaming services out there and costs going up, people are starting to look for alternatives again. And we haven't even discussed the larger international scene where certain shows or movies are region locked or unavailable in those other countries. The easiest way to get that content? You guessed it, pirating. The best way to...
Yeah, man. No, trust me. I get it, dude. I really get it. It's getting crazy out here. I gotta pirate everything these days, man. Let's go through some of these comments. Because of piracy, I got my favorite games all of the time. And these I bought after I knew they were great just to support the producer. Okay. Apple TV, HBO, Disney Plus aren't available in my country. Already paying for Netflix and Hulu. To the seas we go. I mean, or you could just hop on a VPN. That works too. Have I ever? I do it daily. Don't admit it in public, please. Piracy is a symptom of a broken business model. I don't think it... Okay. I don't think that piracy is a symptom of a broken business model. I think is a symptom of a broken model overall. And again, it goes back to the whole shareholder value bullshit and just pushing for profits and growth instead of just coming out with a good fucking product. Like, gone are the days that you bought a product that lasted. You bought something and you kept it and you actually owned it. Now it's, how can we milk an extra dollar or an extra $1.50 or 10 more ads out of our, customers before the end of the month, before the end of, Q4, so we can roll over our earnings into, 2028 with the highest profit margins that we've ever had, because we just laid off 500 people as well. It's a clusterfuck out here, man. It really is. Yeah, piracy was a big pusher of the internet. Yes, piracy and other things that start with a P. When I was in high school, yep. Yep. Pulling out a mixtape, baby. What else do we got in here? Somali pirates? Nah.
Gaming piracy is getting more and more popular every day. Like me personally, I am done paying $90 for a game that has a 25% chance of actually being worth it. 2 new games came out recently called Skull and Bones and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and guess what? They both suck. Why is that? It's probably because they're both quadruple A games. And then at the same time, a rumored Mandalorian game developed by EA that people actually wanted to play was reportedly canceled the day after EA laid off 5% of their staff. So the vibe I'm getting from these big
probably going right into the new year.
Forward to, and then put out these big heaps
so
of
funny.
piling garbage filled with microtransactions and half-baked content. That is why people
Yo, that's a whole nother video. But holy shit, am I tired of microtransactions in games. Guys, I don't want to call myself a gamer. I play Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty very well. I am pretty good at it, although I am 30 now, and I'm cognitively declining as I age into the rest of my life. I can still hold my own, and if it wasn't for cheaters, I'd probably be iridescent and or top 250 in ranked resurgence, just to tell y'all what I play and how good I am. But yeah, dude. Let's get back to it.
Put out these big heaps of piling garbage filled with microtransactions and half-baked content.
Yeah, man, buying a game, trying to play it, realizing it's utter dog water, and then having to either A, keep the game, or B, fight for a return it's just crazy. It really is. Something else that's really frustrating about gaming is why are betas sometimes better than the actual release? That's a good one for you. Why are betas sometimes better than the actual release? I don't know.
Is why people are going back to pirating. Not because they want to, but because of the actions of the biggest gaming corporations with the biggest IPs. Gabe Newell, CEO of Valve, once famously said, "We think there is a fundamental misconception about piracy. Piracy is almost always a service problem and not a pricing problem." 13 years later, we're getting quadruple A games that are worse than double A or even single A, or games that have good content but just a bunch of microtransactions. Helldivers 2 is a rare exception to this rule. That game is actually awesome. Moral is, if you're sailing the high seas,
Never
I
played
don't
it.
blame you. Gaming
Never
piracy
played
is
it.
getting more and more popular every
Piracy is very bad. Don't do this.
Do not do this. If a website has a paywall like New York Times, do not use the Control-A shortcut, then the Control-C shortcut as fast as you can.
Am I putting y'all on
game? You
game?
may accidentally copy the entire article before the paywall comes up. And definitely don't do Control-V into the next Google Doc or whatever you open, because then you will accidentally paste the entire article into a Google Doc
It's
or
kind of
something.
fire.
I repeat, do not do this because it is piracy, which is absolutely totally wrong. Also, do not append 12foot.io before a URL. Typing in the URL like this, 12foot.io/URL, will redirect to a site that would break the display of the page by removing the paywall. Honestly, it's kind of prohibited to mash Control-V
Yo,
before
putting
some
us
paywall
on
windows
game.
can load in to get a PDF of the article. Really shouldn't be done, to be honest. Very dangerous. Do not do this.
Yo, I don't know who this. Yo, damn, my boy. You just put us on some game, homie. Thank you very much. We much appreciate it, guys. Y'all heard that right. Copy everything, paste it, 12foot.io, or just create a PDF. Solid. Good work there, my man. Good work. We appreciate you. Yeah, Stream East getting shut down sucks. How does the UFC deal with privacy?
Need to know to get free ebooks for your Kindle or whatever e-reader you have. First one's Ocean P.
Yeah, so all this books.
websites you need to know to get free ebooks for your Kindle or
Am I retarded?
We know exactly how to combat piracy. I won't tell you extensively what we do every event, but we go after piracy hard, and you saw a few years ago we started prosecuting people.
Yeah, so I'm that guy that they use for the enforcement of the piracy. And this is what they do is that I get a list of every legal establishment in the country. I know who's legal and who is allowed to show the fight and where they can and who they're operating under, what the LLC is. And if I find a restaurant or a bar or a commercial establishment that is showing the fight without the appropriate license, and the only way to tell is if you're not on that list, well, you clearly don't have it legally. Then I send in investigators to go in and record that, and then we go in and enforce the UFC's copyrights and piracy rights in federal court.
We know exactly how to combat piracy.
Man, he's a professional snitch. Homie's a professional snitch. Man, it's him. What are the comments? What do the comments say about this real quick? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's what he's saying is definitely doable. But it'd be hard to find somebody on a VPN routing through, let's just say, a Tor browser or a Tor Brave browser or really a Brave browser. It'd be kind of hard to find some people. Try stopping Stream East. No. No. Let's look at these replies. People definitely came back and said they did. No. Hold on. They did. Oh, shit. They did. I knew someone was going to say it. No, they didn't. Nope. Yes, they actually did. Not that month, November of last year, but they definitely shut down Stream East. They most definitely did. RIP. And other things, crack streams, whatever, meth streams. Yeah, they cracked down on all those. Make sports affordable. Yep. $50. Yeah. You know, if it was affordable, people wouldn't pirate. That's all I'm saying. If people saw the value in what it was, people wouldn't pirate. But then also there's people who are always going to pirate. So, good luck recording in my house. Yeah, GG's, buddy. Please report that. Report these nuts. Already pay $30 a month. Sports streaming. Yeah. Another $60 on top of that for pay-per-view. They're still showing me ads. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yo, dude, you're paying for a pay-per-view. There's fucking ads blasted all over the fucking octagon. I'm talking about the UFC. All over the octagon. All over the walls. All the commentators. Fucking John Anik out here. This stream is brought to you by Modelo Especial or some bullshit. You know, it's like, motherfucker, dude. Everything, everywhere is just bombardment of ads. Ads. Fuck. Got that off my chest. Never paid to watch a fight. Never will. So easy to pirate. Yeah, babe. Literally, the fucking Monster can, all of it, dude. Literally all of it is so ridiculous. It's just all ads when it comes to the UFC. Everything is about just squeaking out a little bit more. I mean, you have to run a profitable business. I get that. But at the same time, now that it was sold to WME or whoever, it's just a perpetual, chase for more shareholder value, make more money, more profits, more growth year over year. Or if you're not growing, you're dying. Ugh. I've watched every UFC live event for free my entire life. Sean, the FBI is going to knock on your fucking door, buddy. Oh, my God. You're going to see him in the back. Please don't come. Please don't come. Fucking kicking that bitch. I'm going to come. God. 40K people watching it for free. They do be losing out on some money. Yeah. So how it works for a bar, right? I'm going to put y'all on this. This is how it works. If you have a bar with an occupancy of 100 people, then you have to pay for 100 people's worth of the stream. So if it's a pay-per-view, in all reality, if you pay for a pay-per-view at your house, that's for one person. Or actually, I don't know how it works in a house non-commercial establishment. But if you're paying $80 and you have 100 people that are allowed to be in your establishment, you have to pay the maximum price. And the maximum is $8,000 to play that stream. There are some places that make enough money that they do it and they just foot the bill and go from there. But there's a lot of places like who they're going after that, you know, they pay $80 and they have 200 people in there and, you know, they come knocking on your door. It is what it is. Watch it on TikTok. Yeah. It's crazy. You can find the UFC fights on Twitch all the time. It's true. Yeah, Amarillo, Texas, baby. Getting it done. 5% above the average crime rate in the United States. Amarillo, Texas, baby. Stream East. RIP. Yeah, it might cost $10K for the bar. Yeah, again, it's based off the price of how many people are there. Yo, yeah, babe. Apparently, the most piracy that happens when it comes to the UFC is out of Amarillo. They're holding it down up there. All right. That's it for me when it comes to piracy. Piracy, it's not going anywhere. It's becoming a more hot topic these days for everything. For gaming, for TV shows, for movies, for pay-per-view events like this, which we're going to see a huge drop because what's UFC on now? Peacock or something like that? We're going from the UFC to be a UFC fan and watch all the pay-per-views. It was like $1,000 a year. It's going to be like $80 a year now to get all of them. They're moving away from that model. Thank fucking God, because they were losing so much money because of this right here. So they pivoted their business model, which is good. But Paramount, not Peacock. Yeah. Paramount is who it was. But yeah, piracy. It's here to stay, man. And what's crazy is these youngins out here that are doing the pirate life. They don't know about that OG, man. They don't know. They don't know about that Captain Barbosa. They don't know about that LimeWire. They don't know about that Pirate Bay. They don't know about it. If Crack Streams never comes back, they probably don't know about Crack Streams, man. RIP. I don't know. That's it for me tonight, guys. Again, I was live streaming over on Kick and then vertically over on YouTube, which is pretty cool. So Kick and YouTube, and eventually I'll be able to stream on TikTok, but I have to like stream before I can link it, and it's bullshit is what it is. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, whatever platform you are on. Appreciate anybody hopping in here. Babe, I see you in here. I think the Cowboys probably got smashed. Heard you in there screaming earlier. But yep, that's it for the night. GG's, homies, and